everybody? It's Smitty. Today we're going to work on our hips. We're going to go through some mobility, some activation, and some soft tissue work. Now, many times when we do our foam roller and we do our lacrosse ball, we're just essentially taking out the elastic slack in the myofascia, in the soft tissue. And research has shown that we need lots of pressure over a long duration of time to really affect the resting tone of the soft tissue. So I'm going to show you something. We're going to go through a quick little sequence for the hips, and what you're going to see is we're going to work on some mobility, we're going to work on some soft tissue, and we're also going to work on some activation, because once we open that movement up, we want to activate to really cement the pattern. So we're just going to set up here. I have the stick, and like I said, we're going to increase the tension of the movement and of our self-massage by just getting set up in this hip mobility pattern. You see here, I'm talking about my boy Mark Young. He says a lot of people get set up in this stretch, and what we want to do is essentially want to get real tall from our knee to the top of our head. But when they come up into the position, they're too tight in their quad, and they get the range of motion at their lower lumbar. So what we want to do, a little quick tip I can teach you, is set up in a hip hinge position and use our glutes to essentially neutralize our pelvis and get us set up really nice. So we're going to set here, we're going to get a neutral spine, pack the neck, we're going to squeeze our butt and hip hinge into position. Now what that does, like I said, is it neutralizes the pelvis and it doesn't force our lumbar into that hyperextension. We're actually moving into a nice neutral position. So we're going to hip hinge, squeeze our butt, and neutralize, okay? And in this position, we want to get real tall. What I like to do is just kind of scour the front side of that capsule of that hip. Okay, and a lot of people, what they do is they try to get too much range of motion out of it. They can come down here. You can see here that this is no problem, but when I force myself to remain neutral, locking my pelvis, it's really a short range of motion to put that the quad on stretch. And the hip flexor is going crazy right now. So what we're going to do, like I said, we need to increase the tension in the myofascia, and then we're going to impart some soft tissue work. So we're going to get into here and start hitting that hip flexor wad down into that quad in that position, and try to stay as tall as possible. Hit the lateral aspect as well. I can hip hinge into it, okay, and then come back out. When it's real tight, try to stay tall. Pull the shoulders back. If you don't have a stick, you can use a lacrosse ball. Try to get all aspects. Like I said, you can scour around in that front side. Okay, so what we're doing is we did soft tissue work under more tension, opened up the hip with some mobility, stretching that hip flexor and that quad. Now we're going to activate on either side of the pelvis. First thing we're going to do is activate that psoas. Try to get it up past 90 degrees and hold it. Don't lean back. Don't lean forward. Try to get nice and tall. You can see I'm using the bench as my indicator. Okay, you want to do that for 30 to 40 seconds. After that, you're activating the psoas. Let's activate the glutes. Come on the other side. Hit our glute bridge. Down, up. We're pushing the bottoms of our feet together, extending the hip. Good. Now the other thing I want to talk about is when we're stretching that hip flexor in that quad, there's going to be a lot of tension, and we're doing that soft tissue work. There's even more tension. And what we're trying to do is promote mobility. So I need you to really focus on breathing through your belly and relaxing, okay, when you're in that position, even when there's the greatest amount of tension, okay, because that's going to give us more mobility. Once we get that mobility at the hips, we're going to be able to move better, okay, and it all starts by stabilizing our pelvis, not allowing that lower lumbar to go into hyperextension. The other thing we did is once we worked on the soft tissue, worked on the mobility, then we activated to cement the pattern and get everything firing on either side of that joint. This is Smitty from Diesel Strength Conditioning.
Thanks for watching the video.